Iran says it sees only one path forward: negotiations with the United States. Speaking in Tehran on Sunday, Foreign Minister Abbas Araqchi declared there was no other option but to negotiate, signaling a potential return to nuclear talks after months of escalating threats and military posturing.
Greetings and good morning to everyone. Why do we insist so much on enrichment and continue to do so, and are not willing to give it up even if war is imposed on us? Because no one has the right to tell us what we should or should not have. This is based on the principle of rejecting domination. It is my right to carry out enrichment according to the law, and it is up to me whether I exercise this right or not. Over the years, we have always been told that we do not have the right to enrich uranium. Zero enrichment. Why? Because they say they are worried. You're worried? We're ready to address your concerns. You have questions? We'll answer them. There's no trust? We'll build trust. But no one has the right to tell us that we shouldn't have it just because they want it that way. That was the point. Independence, freedom, Islamic Republic. The issue of the freedom to enrich is important. But more importantly, the Islamic Republic of Iran must prove that it does not take orders from anyone at all. No one accepts domination. If there are any questions or ambiguities regarding the goals of Iran's peaceful nuclear program, we will answer them and resolve the concerns. And the only way is through diplomacy. Choosing other paths has not led to any results. They bombed our facilities, but the result they wanted was not achieved. Knowledge cannot be destroyed by bombing. Technology cannot be eliminated. Technology exists, knowledge exists, and I am glad that today there is no solution except negotiation. This is exactly what I told the American team just the day before yesterday. And in fact, their presence at the negotiating table is for this very reason, because they have already tried other ways. And negotiations will only succeed when the rights of the Iranian people are acknowledged and respected. And when we are able to exercise our own rights, we don't want anyone to recognize our rights. Our rights are already legitimate. Our rights exist. They exist. What we want is for our rights to be respected. And I believe that the secret to the power of the Islamic Republic of Iran lies precisely in its ability to stand firm against bullies, those seeking domination, and the pressures of others. They are afraid of our atomic bomb, but we are not pursuing an atomic bomb. Our atomic bomb is the power to say no to the great powers. Even now, their military deployments in the region do not scare us. We are people of diplomacy, but we are also people of war. We are ready for war, not that we seek war. In fact, we are warriors. We are prepared for war, so that no one dares to go to war with us. We are people of diplomacy because we are logical, because we have something to say, we have reason. The main slogan was independence, freedom, Islamic Republic. And if they choose the path of diplomacy, we will also continue on that path. If they speak to the people of Iran with respect, we will respond with respect. If they speak the language of force, we will respond in kind. I offer my greetings and a very good morning to everyone present, and I thank you all. Peace be upon you, and God's mercy and blessings.
The message came with a warning. Just a day earlier, Araqchi said Iran would strike U.S. bases across the Middle East if American forces attacked the Islamic Republic. His remarks followed a major U.S. naval buildup in the region ordered by President Donald Trump. Trump has made his demands clear. Iran must abandon uranium enrichment technology that could be used to build nuclear weapons, halt its ballistic missile program, and end support for armed groups across the Middle East. Tehran insists its nuclear program is peaceful and rejects any limits imposed by foreign powers.
We had very, very good talks today, having to do with Russia, Ukraine. Something could be happening. We likewise had very good talks on Iran. Iran looks like it wants to make a deal very badly. We have to see what that deal is. But I think Iran looks like they want to make a deal very badly, as they should. Last time they decided maybe not to do it, but I think they probably feel differently. We'll see what the deal is. It'll be different than last time. And we have a big armada, we have a big fleet heading in that direction. We'll be there pretty soon. So we'll see how that works out.
Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner met with Iran's foreign minister today. You also had Brad Cooper there, the head of CENTCOM. A deal doesn't look like it's been reached yet. How long are you willing to wait?
I think a deal can be reached. Well, you have to get in position. We have plenty of time. If you remember Venezuela, we waited around for a while, and we're in no rush. We have, very good talks going with Iran. We have very good talks going with Russia and Ukraine. We're doing a lot of good talking, and I think we had the results today were with Iran. It was a meeting. We're going to meet again early next week. And they want to make a deal. Iran, as they should want to make a deal. They know the consequences if they don't make a deal. The consequences are very steep. So we'll see what happens. But they had a very good meeting with a very high representative of Iran, and we'll see how it all turns out.
We'll give it a right scoop.
See that. By the way, I'd love to see that. If we could do that, I'd love to see it.
Mr. President, is a deal that is acceptable that only covers with Iran? Is there a deal that only covers nuclear that would be acceptable to you? Because they just want to have nuclear. They don't want to have anything else.
Like that would be acceptable, but the one thing, and right up front, no nuclear weapons. If we could have made that deal 2 years ago, we would have made that deal, but they weren't willing to do that. Now they are willing to do it. So they're willing to do much more than they would have a year and a half ago, or even a year ago when don't forget, we've only been doing this for exactly 1 year. And we started with them a few months after the beginning of this term. This term has been amazing. But the results could surprise people. If they would have offered this deal originally when we first started, it would have been accepted immediately. We'll see what happens now.
Tensions remain shaped by last year's dramatic escalation. In June, the U.S. struck Iranian nuclear facilities, joining the final phase of a 12-day Israeli bombing campaign. Tehran later announced it had halted uranium enrichment, but retaliated with a missile attack on a U.S. base in Qatar, a country that maintains ties with both sides.
No, and the aftermath was also unprecedented. So President Trump basically told the Israelis to apologize to you. He took your side. He took the side of an Arab country against Israel in this specific case. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't think it's ever happened before. What was your reaction to that?
Well, of course, President Trump was very clear from the beginning since the attack. Actually, when he was informed about the attack, he assigned one of his advisors to reach out to us, and at the same time, he called His Highness after the attack, and he expressed his frustration, his disappointment from such a thing that's happening by Israel, because he knows everything about the process and he knows how helpful we were throughout this process. And this kind of move was shocking for him as a partner in these efforts, in these endeavors to achieve peace in Gaza. And at that time, actually, when the strike happened, it was happening while we were trying to convince Hamas to accept the offer was made by President Trump at that time, to convince them to engage, to convince them to get a deal before the 20 points being developed when the attack happened.
For Iran, the core issue is recognition, the right to develop nuclear technology and to maintain its missile defenses. Officials say putting missiles on the negotiating table would leave the country exposed to Israeli attacks.